Hey everybody, Lori Lowe here, and welcome to The Sacred Binge. This is the channel in which we talk about the experience of having binge eating disorder, where we stop dieting, we put away the shame that has kept us in the darkness about this disorder for so long, and we focus on making every experience of binging a sacred experience. That's how we discover our why and how we start to make a change in our behavior. So we're going to pick up where we left off reading my book, Mouth Hunger, 10 Healing Truths About Binge Eating Disorder That Will Mend Your Heart and Set You Free. You can get this on Amazon as both an ebook and as a paperback. And we left off reading, we were just going to start chapter 7. So today, this is chapter 7 through 9. And let's just jump right in. I've been getting lots of great comments from you on this book, so hope to get some more here. Okay. Chapter 7, Healing Truth number 5. Being thinner doesn't make your life better or easier or healthier. I don't know how this got started, but I grew up with a family mythology that being thin meant you were gifted by the universe and had all you needed to be happy and fulfilled. Wishful thinking, obviously, but I remained controlled by this idea throughout adolescence and most of my adult life. It's astonishing how deeply committed I was to achieve thinness and finally win all the gifts my mother promised would come with it, even when the reality kept me emotionally starved and miserable for years. I like to read the news online, and I'm frequently served up photos of killer abs and bikini shots. A lot. I mean, a lot. I wonder if these influencers became aware of the deep shame and humiliation that is felt by those of us who don't have ideal physiques and photo-worthy faces, would they still post them? Or are these people also trapped in a crushing myth that their only value is in the perfection of their body? Why, as a culture, do we lead with thinness as the ultimate indication of our status, value, and self-worth? Healing truth number 5 is that being thin offers nothing more than a smaller clothing size. And that is really, truly it. It does not magically erase binge eating disorder or deactivate the neural pathways in your brain that seek safety and well-being through overeating. In some respects, when someone with BED loses a lot of weight, they are even less prepared to deal with real life than when they were at a larger size. At least then they could blame their problems on being fat. But in the thinness mythology, you have no reason to not be blissfully happy, wealthy, and in charge of your life if you've lost weight. So if you don't experience those things, what the F is your problem? Why are you, thin person, still struggling with mouth hunger, low esteem, intimacy issues, and body obsession? Because your size was never stopping you from feeling worthy and valued in the first place. Current studies tell us that being thinner doesn't even promise good health, in spite of everything you've ever heard reported by the healthcare industry. I alluded to this a bit in Healing Truth number 3, but it's worth repeating. Weight is rarely an accurate indicator of how healthy we are, our chances for living longer, or remaining disease-free. Don't believe me? Look at these health statistics from Body Respect. When using the body mass index, the BMI, as a reference, people who are considered overweight live longer than those considered to be normal weight. And those considered obese live at least as long as those who are in the normal weight category. Fat people live longer than thin people. Excuse me, let me say that again. Fat people who are fit live longer than thin people who are not fit. And when observed over the long term, weight loss is not a meaningful factor in overall health. And in fact, specific pursuit of weight loss leads to health detriment. So I challenge you to look at the golden ticket of thinness differently. Don't read about diet success stories or follow celebrity influencers whose only accomplishment is beauty. Don't aspire to have such shallow attributes. These people you may admire are caught up in the same old disordered thinking my mother taught me when I was 4 years old. The time for worshiping thinness is over. And when you give up attachment to physical perfection, the person who is suffering from binge eating disorder is cracked open to reveal the beauty of the person you truly, authentically are. You won't be giving up anything, and you will gain yourself. Chapter 8, healing truth number 6. Unacknowledged shame keeps you from healing. It took me many years to understand that binging, restricting, and shame are the 3 ingredients necessary to cook up a binge eating disorder. Until you understand the profound role shame has in creating and keeping BED active, healing isn't possible. Most humans experience trauma and are exposed to discomfort to some degree in their lives, in some cases to a terrible degree. We all come up with ways to survive unpleasant situations. However, some of us may develop coping strategies that are not positive in the long run. Our reliance on binge eating is one of those coping strategies. And for a number of reasons, it comes packed in deep personal shame. We experience shame because we know binge eating hurts us, yet we are at the mercy of mouth hunger. We are ashamed because it makes us overweight and that we are unsuccessful dieters. We are ashamed that we are not beautiful or handsome, that clothes don't fit us when we shop, that nothing looks good on us, and because the people we trust to love us tell us we should be ashamed. We are ashamed because we believe we deserve to be ashamed because we are binge eaters. Healing truth number 6 is that excavating the shame and embarrassment that comes with binge eating disorder is the key to finding freedom from BED. The day I learned to put away shame was the day that I could look at my mouth hunger with compassion and curiosity and change my thinking around it. It didn't come from losing weight or sticking to a healthy food plan or abstaining from certain foods. It didn't even come from stopping myself from binging when I wanted to soothe and comfort myself. It came from abstaining from shame. Just as giving up the pursuit of weight loss neutralizes 1/2 of the binging restricting cycle, giving up on shame drains the gas out of BED's engine. If we are unashamed of who we are, even the ugly truth of being a binge eater, we see that we are human beings who found a way to survive when we had no other options. Abstaining from shame doesn't eliminate mouth hunger. It allows us to see it for what it really is, a cue to activate an habitual coping strategy that no longer serves us. We often give ourselves performance goals when we want to change negative body behaviors. Lose 10 pounds in 10 days, go alcohol-free for 90 days, work out 14 days in a row, be a size 2 by bikini season, etc. Let me suggest something radical to you. Instead of tallying up how many days you've been carb-free, begin to track how many days you've been shame-free. 7 days, completely shame-free, feels like you've had a full body massage with salt scrub. 30 days equals a 2-week vacation, all expenses paid. 365 shame-free days will change your whole life, regardless of what your body looks like. It will probably take fewer than 365 shame-free days, but who's counting? Chapter 9. Healing truth number 7. Having binge eating disorder is a gift. For most of us that have struggled with BED for years, painfully cycling through failed diets and the shame that wraps around it all, it may be far-fetched to categorize binge eating disorder as a gift. I have myself called it torture, torment, a curse, the most excruciatingly painful thing I've ever dealt with, and pretty much a hopeless way to live. And in the darkness of binging, restricting, and shame, that's exactly what it is. There is light around us, however, whatever we name it. And the gift of having binge eating disorder is when we ask the most profoundly healing question. Why am I so doggone hungry? What is or is not present in my life that creates such deprivation? I will engage in an activity that I know harms me. What am I hungry for? When I stopped trying to lose weight, I gave up constantly trying to change who I was and began to learn how to deal with myself as I am. When I decided to become shame-free about having BED, I was able to give up berating myself and kicking my own ass to the curb because I wasn't perfect. The day I began to pay attention to my binges and ask myself, what am I hungry for? Was the day the light cracked through my BED, and I began to see, hear, and understand who I really am and what I really want my life to be about. When I got dieting and shame out of the way and became willing to stay up close and personal with BED, I didn't try to stop the binge from happening. That's restricting, and there was no way I was ever going to restrict myself again. I was just hoping to give myself an extra couple of seconds to think about it before the mad dash to the fridge occurred. Something addiction specialists have called the magic quarter second. I had no other agenda than that. I'm planning to binge. I'm going to the cupboard or the grocery store for my favorite binge foods. I am binging. I just had a binge. As I went further into the experience, the 2 seconds contained conversations like this. And then what? If I eat this, will it change what's going on right now for the better? Is the solution in this box of cookies or this piece of cake or this slice of pizza? That was all I wanted to know the answer to. Is this going to bring me back to a sense of well-being and safety? Whatever I did after those 2 seconds no longer mattered because I'd had a genuine moment of communion with myself, my true spirit, and what it really needed to authentically express itself. Sometimes the solution in that moment was in the box of cookies. Giving myself those 2 seconds, however, made each binge a sacred experience, and it turned mouth hunger into a reminder to be my own best friend. I don't mean to be woo-woo about this experience, but healing truth number 7 is understanding that a deep dive into our binge eating disorder, how we got here, and what we are really hungry for is a spiritual journey. You will experience transformation on the physical, mental, and emotional planes too. But when we remove shame and just watch what happens, when we look at our why that is hidden in those 2 seconds before the binging starts, we make room for miracles to find us. I've come to understand mouth hunger as an extraordinary moment, an opportunity for a sacred binge, an invitation to watch myself, to feel sympathy for my own discomfort, to imagine something different, and spend time with my vulnerable little girl so she experiences the safety she longs for. It's a chance to put away childish things, old coping mechanisms, listen closely to what really nourishes her, and maybe find the guts to make it happen. Okay, so that is chapters 7 through 9 of Mouth Hunger, my book you can find on Amazon. And we're going to have more of this. We've got a few more rounds of reading to get through the whole book, but I can't tell you how profound it is for me to just read this out loud to you, but I really am so excited about the feedback I've been getting from everyone on this approach toward living with and healing binge eating disorder, that it is a soulful experience. So please subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell to get notifications when new posts are made. If you like this video, please watch it all the way through and hit the bell. This just helps me get this message out to more people. And in the meantime, take care, give yourself a couple of seconds, be shame-free, and have a great and awesome day. Thanks. Bye-bye.